What up? Murph Dog, what is up? Yikes. Try to get this adjusted to where I can be comfortable here. Sorry, I'm still kind of working on this setup here. I don't have everything dialed in yet. Oh. But better. But better. Hey, 50. What's up? Ground pounder, how are we? There's some private information being passed on here that I don't know if I'm supposed to be part of it. Not a whole lot. Just chilling, hey, 50. What up, Murph Dog? How are we? So, why am I here? What am I doing? I mean, I'm already banned, basically. I can't, this is costing me nothing but time, money, and aggravation. I'm pissed at YouTube. I don't really want nothing to do with YouTube right now because I feel like I've been wronged. But, like, I don't know about you guys, but I look at it as, yeah, I use EJEAS. It's an off-brand, and they work really, really, really good. They're much cheaper. Go with Motorcycle Helmet Communications. Just look them up like that. You can get much cheaper stuff and not have to get Cena sets. So hopefully that helps. Hoonigan. Cena for me. Oh, would you? Yeah, they shut my channel down basically. Like, they kicked me off the partner program, shut my memberships down, froze all the income to where I finally was gonna, like, I did what you're not supposed to do, which is I stopped with YouTube because I got sick of all the stipulations and this rule and that rule. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. So then I was like, and I keep telling people, like, people viewing your, that shouldn't be the end all be all for you. I enjoy making the content. So I was like, well, I'll take all my content away and put it over behind a paywall. That'll protect it. That'll make things better for me. Less rules and stuff. And then, yeah, they did this. So they haven't given me a proper reason. I've tried to get an answer out of them. So, I don't know. They said 3 months. And then, I don't know if I'll switch it up and go to a different platform. I'll keep you guys updated. Right now I'm just banking videos, enjoying the break, and, like, getting my mind right, if I'm being honest. What up, Chris? Shout out to those of you that I've been talking to also that reach out. Like, appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, why am I here? Like, I honestly get to think about it. I don't know if you guys are like me, but in real life, as a man, a legit man, not the pretend LARPing as a man, I don't have a bunch of friends. Like, you have maybe one or two that you talk to. You can't count family in that either. So, like, I start to think, like, dudes really don't have a spot to really get together and shoot the shit and be dudes. Everything's been genderfied. Like, you can't, hell, you can't even go to the gym without, like, there being a woman there trying to thirst trap you. And if you glance her way, shit gets wild. I kind of always feel like I've been like that, to where you could be the most beautiful woman, but I'm really not looking your direction because I just don't want the headache. Like, I'm good. Um, but like this, I feel like that's what this is. I feel like it gives a bunch of guys a chance to get together, shoot the shit, and be guys without someone going home and having their feelings hurt. So there's enough of the foo-foo shit out there that we're just trying to even things out by being the opposite over here. So now that I've sounded like Wrangle Star to intro, I need to say this is episode number 115, Weekly Violations. Your PSA for this week. Well, I don't know if... See, the thing is, I'm so kind of aggravated myself. I realized I started to sound like Wrangle Star. I'm like a kook out of nowhere right there. So here, so there's rumor. I keep up with everything, and on the interweb, the dark web, where few people go, there's rumors going around. There's a lot of rumors, and this, what I do here is I try to keep you guys up to date with those rumors. You know, all the niche, like, things that are going on. I feel like you guys deserve to hear it. Now, my biggest question with Wrangle Star has always been, what's the thing with the, like, foo-foo sus, like, hanky thing he's always wearing? And, what up, JC? And I'm like, So, that's always just been something in the back of my mind. Why has he got, like, a pink handkerchief on his neck, looking like a 1950s woman? And then, for the first time, I've heard people, like, say, maybe it's for this, maybe, none of it sounds right. And by God, if I didn't stumble across one that fits all criteria, like, it makes sense. And, like, if you had bruises from being choked all the time, you would want to cover them up too. So to have a hanky so that you don't have handprints around your, like, the bruise. Some people bruise easier. You would need a hanky. So, like, if you got a hanky, you get the hanky, you put it on your neck, no one sees it now. So it just, I like to make things make sense. That's just me. And the hanky never made sense. It now does. So I feel like I can maybe start to watch some of his stuff and have a bit of, like, an understanding. So the other thing, he loves it when, and I don't know, this isn't a very, very well-known fact, but I promise you, if you check the comment section of his videos, Merc Holt, just, I don't know, like, somebody draw him a map so that he figures all this out. He needs it. So, he's got a toupee. It's a hairpiece. I don't know if most people realize this. That is a hairpiece. It's pretty good. Like, it's not bad. But you can look it up. There's videos of him explaining that he started balding at age 15. You know, I just don't make fun. I feel like there's enough people out there to do it. No, what up, Grumpy? No sense in adding to it, but I just wanted to let you guys know, that way later on, you don't have to, like, find out of the blue. You're, like, in on it. So you'll see in the comment section there, you go figure it out. Shout out and prayers to GB, Greg Brown. Um, like, no problem, let's go. Oh, I thought that said hi, Mew. I was hoping that was Corey, human. But I like that you'll fight me. We'd probably get along after we fought. At least you're not a sissy. I respect that. Yeah, shout out to Greg. Hopefully he heals up. Hurt his foot. Sliced his foot open really good. Like, I think he said maybe getting out of the shower or something, but man, it looked rough. So just wanna put good thoughts, well wishes out to Greg. Hopefully he heals up quick and isn't, bedridden or stopped too much from having that big old gash on his foot. So if you haven't seen it, but violate me hard lift. Oh no, Jesus Christ. Yeah, never let another man violate you hard. It violates you, period. I don't know what I gotta correct myself that quick. So while I'm, the rumor, the hanky, the toupee, all this stuff's going on, I find out that, then, no, this is just what I'm hearing. Wranglestar and BBR are still, like, sparks are still flying. Their little relationship is really going good. I don't know what's going on, if they're, like, trying to build, like, a super YouTube cult or something. I don't know. Is it a community? Is it a cult? I don't know. That reminds me. I know everyone has been just crawling out of their skin, giddy. What up, John? So, like, well, let me go get one. Because I got an example here. Black sent me this last week, and we've been working on this behind the scenes for what seems like years now, okay? But I know all you wish that you had a good boot that you could wear, okay? And that, boot makers, they just don't make them like they used to. This is facts. This is facts. So me being, I'm a forward thinker. I thought, no one else does boots. I'm gonna do boots. I'm gonna make a boot that's gonna change what's, people's life, if you think about it. What up, Bert? So getting together with Black's Boots, they have been making metaphorical boots for, I think, the longest. So they know what they're talking about. Now, you've heard of stitch down boots. Some kooks even will do nail down bottom boots. Now, I bring to you the screw down boot. Actually, it's the screw bottom boot. Okay? Now, it's a better boot. What it does is, where the other boots just go onto your foot, this one goes like this. That's the construction of the screw bottom. Okay? Looks more like a screwed up. No. I wore this for 15 years, I think. Maybe 12 to 15, okay? Just listen though. This was a prototype. All right? Lift, trying to screw up my infomercial here. So screw bottom. Now, where the other boots just lay, this one goes under, and it'll tickle your toes. Like, you get a little tickle every once in a while, which makes work much more enjoyable. Just my personal opinion. Now, is it basically just like all the other stitch down boots? Are you going to be able to tell? Probably not. But the name isn't really about the construction. It's about what I'm actually doing to the consumer. Okay? If you buy this boot and I get the money, I've metaphorically screwed your bottom. Hence the name screw bottom boots. So be on the lookout. They're waterproof as long as you don't cut a big hole in them. you know. There and there. But yeah, blacks, screw bottom, steel-born boot. We may have to write the name all the way around it, or we'll get a stamp or something. But be on the lookout for that. That's coming soon. I'll be selling them for all the monies, and they're basically, I mean, if I'm telling the truth, they're gonna fall apart after a couple weeks. But what you don't understand is the money that I will get from them. All the monies, which I don't know if you guys know how much that is. It's a lot. All the monies will last me a long time. You're going to need to buy another pair of boots in a couple weeks, which is going to that's more monies. But get on the list. You know, you're going to want to order them early. I'm positive we are selling out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Buy 3. Yes, definitely need at least 3. I mean, yeah, I like that. I'm just hearing the chings in my head right now. Give me just a second so I can enjoy this. I'm gonna make all the money. Idiots. All right. Oh, and I finally seen Captain Gimble's content. Luke, the son-in-law. I feel sorry for him. Like, I think Buckin's gonna make him a kook. Like, he's not even gonna get a choice. He's just gonna have to be a kook by association. But yeah. That's all the PSAs I got for this week. Beyond that, the boot thing is real important. I will probably remind you multiple times during this, and it's going to be a lot of feet content. That's just something that I need to be upfront about. I alternate my boots. Sometimes I do too. So I like to wear the left on the right at times. That's what, if you've ever tried that, they get a little... Yes, Nee, yes. Yeah. They're going to be good. And I mean, I could do like a little giggle or something, or act kooky for you if it helps sell them. But I honestly just feel like you're probably not smart enough to figure out the scheme. So I'm just like going to put it out there, you know what I mean? And get all the money. So that's it. The first channel for this week. Maybe, I think they're cringing on a spectacular level. What up, Lone Wolf? Oh, I mean, my bad. Forgive me. $50. What's up, brother? You missed. Get your monies ready. I'm gonna sell you this boot. I know they look a little messed up, but I'm gonna sell you these. Get your monies ready, and go back and listen to all the good info. He's in the house. Right as we speak. See? You're a star here. You're a fucking star over here. First channel for this week is Rooted Arborists. At Rooted Arborist. I'm sure you're being force-fed their content, and I'm not the only one. YouTube pushed them on me so much that eventually I hit subscribe, and I regret it. What up, Jerry? Yeah, hell. We've all became famous for probably worse. So, um, yeah, these guys, man, it's rough. It's the most feminine, like, and they may be great guys, but I'm sorry. When you change all of your chainsaws to Milwaukee's, I feel like you also had to check in your testicles right then. When you're like, hey, take all these motorized saws, we'll take battery power. I think they got to check your ID, and then you have to give your testicles. It's because that's for kids and women, okay? We've said this all before. I know, as long as the chainsaw has a sharp blade, all of them work. We have all discussed this. We're all trying to fix this whole weird mix up between bar, chain, blade, but a sharp blade is all that really matters. But these guys, everything they have is Milwaukee. They have Milwaukee tattooed on their lower back. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Milwaukee is for like drills and shit. Stop letting these guys get into tree work. I didn't say that this was okay. I don't like it. I don't know who let them in, but kick them back out. Let them get them out of here. But their video this week was called Professional Winter Tree Removal. And their content is like TikTok teen girls. Like they'll do kooky shit, weird shit, stuff that's a fad. And I'm sorry, grown men don't do that stuff, okay? We don't do it. And I am on a crusade to keep TikTok away from tree work. No, 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 no. We don't need that over here. You get back out. No one said, hey, we need more TikTok over here. And if they did, smack them. They shouldn't have said that. They misspoke. Because we absolutely don't need any of it here. I just can't. All the Milwaukee stuff just makes me cringe. I don't like it. And their entire operation, they had the whole back of the truck is full of Milwaukee things. And you know what's even better? Is they all click together like Legos. Because those are for kids. I'm telling you, they're for kids. That's not for men. It's for children. That's why they all lock together like you're building a Lego castle. Like, come on, man. You want to know the battery powered chainsaw that I have? It's this one. It is one battery powered chainsaw. You want to know why it's this size? So it can fit in a purse. Okay? So take them back. Take all them saws back. Ask for a refund. Hopefully they'll give you your money back and buy a real chainsaw. Then you could be part of the boys again, you know? Don't you want to be part of the boys? It is. It is. It's my wife's. Okay? That's why. 12 saws, all gas. Grumpy knows what's going on. And I'm grumpy too. I like that. Sir, that is a chainsaw. It has a blade with a chain on it. So, it's a pistola chainsaw. Fingernail saw. Bad for you, what's up? So, they do their weird edits and they have like, it doesn't go together. It's like, it wouldn't hit the same if like you hear the Jaws music, dun dun, and it was just like showing a field of flower. That's not scat. Like, just a beautiful field that's covered in little yellow flowers. That's not scary. That's not scary. It's got, like, you can't have these foo-foo chainsaws with, like, hardcore electronic music playing in the background. It doesn't go together. It's weird. You can't use a kid saw and try to have hardcore music and mix, like, there's rules to this and no one's following them. In the video, the guy says that he really likes the new Petzl Sequoia saddle because it has a special tuck feature for battery saw use. It'll help you tuck it while you use the saw so that you feel more feminine, I guess. I don't really know about it. I've never tried the saddle. That's something you'll have to further research on your own. I don't but like I watched the video and I would rather watch paint dry. So I don't know. And it's not because they're not good tree guys, it's because of the weird like overstimulated TikTok editing style that the person has that just I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? But yeah, that's all I got for him. Now, you guys keep requesting and we keep getting the name Tasman. Kenny Fuller. Tasman. Kenny. Oh, and for those last guys, let me go ahead and you're tubing too hard over there, rooted arborists. You can ease back. No, I take it back. You're talking too hard. You just take the tick, talk out of it. And then I think you got good stuff. But it's like, I can't do it. So, Kenny Fuller, Tasman. His stuff is hard to watch. Now, he put out a video called Splitting Firewood, period, Double Bit Axe, period. Okay. No. That title sucks. And it's actually 2 titles. And you have 2 periods. It's super weird. And both titles are like not full. Is this how you talk? Like, how weird is your brain? Splitting Firewood, Double Bit Axe. That is the weirdest. There's no slash. There's like, it's 2 state. Grammar is like, with some people. But this guy, 100%, is the Timu version of Buckin' Billy Ray. And I'm like, if what Buckin' does gets to me, this dude makes my skin crawl. Like, he is LARPing as Buckin'. If you don't know what LARPing is, that's live. I'm super hip, young, and like with it, but I'm old. I know live action role playing. It's when you pretend to be somebody, okay? So this guy thinks he is Buckin' Billy Ray. I'm dead serious. Like when he's laying down with his wife, he's like, "Will you call me Buckin' tonight?" And I don't know. It's really weird. To the point that he like repeats the same goofy shit that Buckin' does, but not even in a way to where he's like, I'm trying. He won't admit it either. It's like, I'm an original guy, but you're absolutely, it is everything that Buckin' does, this guy does. But he doesn't really like, if you would admit that, that's one thing. But this weird, it just so happens we both think the exact same thing, dress the exact same way, make our videos the exact same way. designed our little spots where we do our live feeds the exact same way. We love the exact same. No, dude. No. I just wish, I wish that you could see, and he had been posting videos long enough that you could see him before he watched Bucket, and then, yeah, shirt tail cousin, yeah. Um, Great value bucking, yeah, exactly. The Dollar General bucking, it's just, come on, man, have some more self-respect. Like, if you're a man, like a legit man, you ain't going on the internet trying to pretend to be some other dude. I don't care how cool this guy is. That's not what we do. We don't pretend to be other men. We just be us. That's that's good enough. There's no way you guys want it. No, no. Then no, you have mine too. Is he giving my number out? Oh, son of a bitch. That's funny. Someone sent me that dude video. I watched for about 1 minute. Yeah, yeah. It's a hey, it's a watch. It's a watch. But it's just yeah, it's really, really, really hard to watch. Everyone says, um, Chris, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I didn't think like everybody's like he thinks he's bucking. I didn't like. Okay, I thought maybe I would have to watch a few videos and I would have a quick correlation every once in a while and be like, oh, that's similar to buck, and I could have a laugh. Okay, well, it didn't exactly happen that way. If I couldn't see his face, like if you just superimposed Buckin's face over him, it's just a Buck and Billy Ray video. Everything's the exact same. And I'm like, there's no way. This guy is even goofy enough to pretend like splitting firewood is something that needs meticulously broke down into a procedure with step to step, like a step to step process. That's fucking mind blowing. These can't be real people. This can't be real. um, so yeah, he just regurgitates the shit that Buckin says, and I didn't even write any of it down, but it's all the same stuff. Like, oh friends, I love you. I'll throw a sob story in every once in a while. Well, on the regular, like a pity trip. You know, a person that pities you and has sympathy for you is more vulnerable with material things like money, and they want to support you more. A lot of YouTubers are going to go that route. They're going to look to get your sympathy at some point. It's called sympathy baiting to get you to want to support them or help them or donate or it's all weird. But it's just wild to me to see so many people think that they need to do a video on how to split firewood. If so, like if you need a how-to video to split firewood, I'm going to tell you right now, I know the problem. The problem is you're lazy. You just need to go out there, pick up the axe, develop the calluses on your hands that comes with splitting firewood by hand. You don't need a how-to video by Tasman Kenny Fuller that tells you where to hit it at and how he can read wood and like you ain't like don't try to pretend that you read wood when I would question if you can read. So I don't know. It's all weird to me. But this dude, he even does the little goofy giggles like Buckin does, which that part tripped me out. He'll get to like I can't like it's it's to try to entice children. You're not gonna tell me someone getting all giggly and goofy makes another man be like, "Oh, that's so cool." No, that's for to entertain childlike, child-minded people. I don't get it. This dude, he also does a buck and stock. No one told me about this. What? Are we all gonna go to Tazapalooza? It's called Tasman dash Kenny Fuller. His name's Kenny. Starts with a K. Kenny. Fuller. Fuller. So Tasman. Tazman. Like, this dude, he talks about his big community, and I'm like, oh, this dude, like, he's probably got a huge channel. Like, I'm gonna go check see how many subscribers he's got, because Buckin' Billy Ray does a buck and stock. I mean, he has a very large following. There's an understanding of why a guy like that would do that, because he has a big following. So when I find out this dude does a get together called Tazapalooza, how have I not known about this? Didn't no one tell me about this? No one told me there's a Tazapalooza. I've not been informed about this. You would think they would want some law and order there, but no one has messaged me, sent me any emails, or informed me in any way that there's a get-together called Tazapalooza. Think about how sick it would be if all of us went together as a crew to Tazapalooza before we then went to Buckenstock. Because I will be at both, okay? I gotta see this Tazapalooza. I gotta go. But when I like 1,000 subscribers is hard as hell to get on YouTube. I'm not saying I'm not slacking anybody over that, but I wouldn't go on video and be like, my large community, and like my channel's got 10,000. Homie's sitting on 4,000, talking about his big community, and it just there's this weird fake it till you make it thing on the internet where you just say it. People don't know any better. I can say whatever I want, like, and you guys have to believe it. No, you don't. No, you don't. I hope to God that you don't believe some of the stuff that you see, and trust every word that some random person that you was scrolling on your phone, you stumbled across one day, that person has honestly got your best interest at heart always. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure I'll get fully banned before I hit 11. I'm trying. Um, but yeah, it blew my mind to see that he's got 4,000 subscribers. His average views on a video is like maybe 400. Some of the videos got like 100 views. And it seems like his views are on the down, which that may be everybody right now. But I find it to be weird to pretend like you have, because you're trying to impersonate this other gentleman that does have this big following and this big community, and you want that. You've seen this dude, you want to be him. You would skin him and wear his skin if you could. You would have no problem sitting in the bathroom with him while he takes his morning dump, and that smell would not bother you in the slightest. You would enjoy and be great company to him. And I find that to be very weird, and I think you should stop doing that and just be whoever Kenny Fuller Tasman is, and not the Timu bucking Billy Ray. Okay? Lost my phone with Mike's number. Someone send it to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't. If he lost my number, I'm never giving it back to him. Because it was a mistake. I'm telling you, it was a mistake. He just, all the time, tells me I suck. He'll randomly so if he lost it, don't give Murph the number. Don't do it. That's God. He's got my back. He's like, oh, we'll take care of this problem. Mike's number is all over bathroom stalls and loves. Yes, yes. Don't look into that little hole there either. I don't know what you think glory is, but don't try to see you can get your eye poked out. Don't do it. I'm not saying we just like Cops got the phone. Oh God, Jesus Christ! What are you in trouble for? That's hilarious. Ah, dang it. All right. Okay. So, this, I guess I gotta. Yeah, I do gotta. So, like, hey, Kenny, just be Kenny, if you could, and not bucking. Like, there's no way that your wife. That I often see. This is he's got a wife. She sits behind him. I think she's a big part of the channel. It seems to be, like. I think of it from my wife's point of view. If she's seeing me always fixating on another man and then starting to emulate him and dress up like him and act like him, like, she's like, what the hell? Really? Like, there's no way your chick's like, that's sick. And who knows who the Kenny Fuller before was, so Tasman before and now, maybe, who knows? But stop. That's all I got to say. I don't like it. And then next channel would be at Rion Rounds. He put out a video called 100-Foot Tree Over Fuel Rail Lines. 1 minute left. Oh, no. That's not how you make a title. There are rules to this. Your title is one singular sentence. Get it done in a sentence. Make it make sense. Try to use whatever language you're trying to put it into. So if it's English, use like make it. Just try at least. I feel like a lot of you're not trying here. It's just what did we need to know about this 1 minute left? It's just weird trying to play the algorithm thing. You need an action in your, into your title, and you need hit words and like these. That's weirdo behavior. If you're titling your stuff doing that, stop. Just stop. Eventually the algorithm will be like, oh, that's stupid, and then it changes. But if you continue to keep it stupid, that'll always be the algorithm, and you'll always have to title your videos stupid shit like this, and then you can't go back. People's like, what was that video? Who knows? It was probably a simple oak removal, but you called it Deadly Dangerous Day on the Power Lines Where Life and... Come on. Come on. So, Rion should change his company name to Rion's, not Monster Tree Service, but Rion's Monster Machine Service. Because everything is machined. Like, it's all mechanized now. And it's just boring to watch. I don't want to watch a Merlot pick this thing apart because the machine's bigger than the tree. It's just, man, it sucks. But, I mean, I get it. I get it. It comes with the territory. Good for you that you don't have to tear yourself all up and you have the machines and you can afford the machines and you've invested in the machines, like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about me as a viewer. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just not for me. But shout out to you. I'm glad you got cool machines. But it's not like the old cool Rion videos, I'll tell you that much. Joseph, thanks for hanging out, brother. I appreciate you. Next channel is guilty of treason. I thought I taught this complete knucklehead how to title videos, and we had him, and he admitted in his video back like last week or the week before that that's the only thing he does anymore is come up with the titles, because he's got an editor, he's got a cameraman, he just has to make the titles. And of course, in the video last week, he's like, that's the hardest part of YouTube, because that's the part he's got to do. So of course it would be, you know how it is. But he put out a video this week called Self-Sharpening Chain, question mark, exclamation point. Now if we stop there, there's no violation. But self-sharpening chain, exclamation point, question mark. Oregon Power Sharp versus Scary Alder Trees. That's two titles. That's greedy, that's gluttonous, and gross. That you feel like you deserve to have more than one title that you did this. No one wants to read that much. They're like, if they did, they would like go get on a Chromebook and go like download a book. I don't want to read that much. But apparently he's got this self-sharpening chain, which I've seen this stuff before, and I'm like, is this the same stuff that I've seen, or is he got something new and kooky? Because he, at least, I have respect for Jacob. I like Jacob. He's figured out a way to be to kind of integrate some of the kooky, trendy stuff, but has enough common sense and self-esteem that he can admit that it's goofy and kooky. So video starts, and what is Buck and Stock? Buck and Stock is a get-together like Paul Bunyan Fest or the TCI Expo, and they get together and you go around and do meet and greets. There's booths where you can see companies and what they got coming out, stuff like that. Or Chris, yeah, Tree Fella actually his definition is much better than mine. That's why I went to the TCI. But yeah, the video starts, and of course, when you have the best climber that's even doing social media, and you got him on your crew, you know what you do? You say, Randy is the Mandy? Will you go up that tree? So he sends Randy up all the hard trees, and Jacob does the easy stuff. You know how it is. So he's got Randy up in the tree, getting her done, climbing these. He says they're scary. They didn't look scary to me. I wasn't scared when I watched it. Like, from my house, I wasn't scared at all, actually. Which is real weird that he was so terrified. I mean, like if I was to watch it right here from my chair, I don't get the big deal. But if you get scared easy, that's on you. It's all right. I don't think You're no less of a man. But yeah, I actually are. But so Randy's up there getting her done. Jacob is like, "Hey, I've never seen this amazing technology that I stumbled across in his cleanup of Sappy Supplies, which was his arborist supply company that he recently just shut down and kind of closed. He's got some supplies left over, and there's an Oregon chain, and it's got that plastic attachment that goes over the top of the bar, and you press down and it runs it against the stone, and it's got those weird teeth made onto it that are like weird hooks. They're strange. What up, Brandon? Um, if you've ever seen it, you'll never, like, you can't unsee it. It's goofy. It's like you take the chainsaw. We can even use this as an example. So you take the chainsaw, you pull the sheath off, and you get the blade. Okay. I forgot what I was saying because I needed to make that blade joke. Damn it. I don't even know what the fuck I was just talking. Oh yeah. So these have this weird, like a normal. It's got a hook that goes this way. These like go up, and they just like, I don't even know how to explain them. They're a weird hook designed to where you get the edge of it sharpened, but this plastic piece clamps down over the edge of the bar. It goes into the hole, clamps down, and then you push it against something, and it takes a whetstone in there, a sharpening stone, and it presses it against the tooth, and as you throttle it and spin it around, it sharpens it. So I don't know if you've ever seen that kind of stuff. I seen it a long time ago, and it used to come out. Actually, I think it was Oregon, maybe, it came out on one of their electric chainsaws. They made an electric saw that takes an extension cord, and it would come out on that. And I just, of course, me being a tree guy, as soon as I seen it, I was fascinated. I was like, that's pretty cool. A self-sharpening chainsaw? And it was on an infomercial, a weird infomercial. And when you press it up against it and it goes, I'm looking for something that would look kind of similar. Yeah. It just, it just opens up. Like it cracks open, you put the bar into it, clamp it down, and then you press it and it just pushes the stone up against it. But look it up if you've not seen it, because it is weird. Weird. Nothing one for your buddy David. Had one. Yeah, David, that dude, he's a full kook too. Like, weird as shit. He's sweating like all hell in them coveralls. Homie wears coveralls. I don't like, I don't know if he's wearing anything under them, and I don't like that. I don't like that. But, yeah, if you've ever seen on YouTube, there's a guy that he may have finally moved to battery-powered saws, but he was doing tree work with an extension cord. Always. Like, had a chainsaw that he used. He had his electric chainsaw. And when it comes down to getting the job done and having a get-her-done mentality, but other than that, brother, you're bringing electricity with you? You trying to get shocked? Like, come on. $800 coveralls. Yeah, but they were dipped in whale semen or something. It probably feels good on his skin. He's a strange guy. I could see him costing that much though. Whatever. That's Brandon. I swear to God. That line right there. It says, Jacob, like always, falls. I think he's drinking. I think he's on the sauce. I'm telling you. No, I'm just kidding. I think he's got two left feet. Every once in a while, from what I'm hearing, Aaron has to go over. He'll get caught walking in circles. So he trips over his own feet. Every once in a while, he'd just be going in a circle. Aaron's got to go over and stop him and line him back up. Everywhere he goes, he has to go on a bit of a curve, like a bit of an arc, because of he's got two left feet. But yeah, yeah, I wonder the same thing. He falls a lot. He needs those screw bottom boots, and as soon as he gets my screw bottom boots from Black's Boots, I know maybe you haven't heard of that company. Trust me, they're good. Um, Coming out soon. Screw bottom. Um, hmm. Oh yeah, Jacob likes the weird chainsaw bar. I think he said he's going to keep it on there too. I don't know if I would do that, but they made it through the job. He was all scared of those trees. Again, didn't scare me at all. But I do agree with Jacob because in the video, him and Randy were talking, and he was going to bore cut a tree. And the reason for wanting to bore cut the tree is because when he made the face cut in the tree, it pinched down on his saw. So Randy tells him, hey, I feel like you're more likely to get your bar pinched on that if it already set down on the saw and moved on the little, very shallow face cut. But this very, very, very shallow face cut, and I talk about his chicken too, William. That's crazy. You guys are on it. It's fucking funny. Like right here, dashboard chicken is disgusting. It looks like it's been boiled. Like brown that shit. Don't you know how to cook? Put some seasoning on it or something. That was the most gross looking chicken. It's all like sweaty from being on the dashboard. I don't like that. Yo, you would have loved, John, you would have loved this. It is the same color as it looked like when it was raw, I think. I didn't like it at all. Not at all. I felt like it comes with a side of E. coli. It was gross looking. And then he's like, you guys want some chicken? I just said, no. No. What do you get? What kind of disease can you get from chicken? People get it at like every time some fast food restaurant like Jack in the Box or McDonald's decides we're going to do a natural, massive, thick chicken breast. E. coli. That's what it is. Salmonella. I think it's one of those two. Every time one of those companies decides to do that, you can't cook that right, so everybody ends up getting some shit that's raw, and then you're on YouTube instead of like, I'm not on YouTube showing it. I'm gonna go outside. You trying to kill me? But the chicken looked gross. That's what I'm getting to. All this is about that. That chicken looked gross. But Randy tells him, he's like, hey, I wouldn't bore cut that because you're probably likely to get the saw pinch trying to bore cut it because of how hard it leans. I've never needed to use a bore cut. Like, I'm 25 years into, like, doing way more, like, more than that, running saws and, like, falling little stobs and stuff like that, little stuff, but, like, actual tree removals. I'm 25 years plus in, and I've never needed to use a bore cut. And I agreed with Jacob. He says, I think that cut's a little overrated. What you need is, in those situations, I'll often try to widen the backstrap a little bit to eliminate that, like, when those two acute angles go together and you get that sharp point right here, and it potentially cracks up the back, that's when, like, a good wide back strap on is when I like to have one, and then throttle wide open and get on it. You better have a good fast cutting saw and get through the damn thing, like, and hammer it. That's just what I've always done. A bore cut, I've never needed to use one, ever. Have I done them? Yeah, I don't think I've ever used one in a scenario where it was real, like, I just never have. Never. Which is crazy to think. And I think I've only done a couple bore cuts just to show that I could do them. But um oh, and in the video he uses that Stalpin jack, and I don't like that it costs $2,000. Who said, who authorized this price? Who made the price of this thing? It's a pole. It's a metal pole with a little cranky thing on it. Makes a little stick that goes out like this. That's zesty movements that it does already. So like where this enormous, outrageous, expensive price comes from, I don't like it. But it's a weird jack that you can, it's almost like a house jack or something. I've used those weird ones and it works like a bumper jack would work, but it's telescopic and it has a hand crank on the side. But I could see how where it would be effective in situations, but like $2,000 for that? That's ridiculous. Um, I don't get it. But I mean, to each their own. Also, for the first time, I've never seen the bottom of one of them Stalpin jacks. I thought it was flat. It is. It does have some teeth on it, which I like, and it like bells out. It's not solid down there, so you can see that it would bite in and grip. Um, it needs an attachment that gives it a bigger footprint. Like I don't like that it just sinks into the ground. It's only about this big around, so like if the tree was to go backwards, it would sink that thing into the ground so quick it wouldn't do anything. So some kind of an attachment. I started to think, would it be useful to when you take the face cut out, put the face cut behind it and then run it, because then you got the notch that'll run at that angle and it'll go onto it. But I don't know. I don't have one, but I would be thinking about that all the time. Where is a good device or an attachment that would give me a bigger footprint? Because Jacob had trouble in this video where it just kept sinking before he could really get some tension put onto it. So, but that's all I got for Jacob. Randy killed it because, you know, just like I didn't decide to become the sheriff, I'm sure he didn't decide to be called the Mandy. Somebody was just like, dude, you are the Mandy. And he stuck with that name. They thought his name was Randy, too. That's the crazy part beforehand. But the chicken did look dry, I would like to say. Also, I think you're 100% right. It looked really, really dry. But I don't know how something can look dry and sweaty at the same time. That's my problem. I don't like that. I don't like that. But Randy is the shit. I like Jacob. You have a natural, it's a natural instinct to dislike Jacob. If you're in the same field doing the same thing and seeing a guy like that succeed, you instantly become competitive with him. And I look at it as any other tree guy out there or any other YouTuber, he's doing so good at it that it, like, I want to hate him. I don't want to like him. If I'm telling the truth, I don't want to like him. It pisses me off that I'm sitting here for 12 years making videos. This is me. 100. I'm keeping it real. Okay? I'm 100 right now. I don't want to like him. I don't think I should have to like him. But he turns out to be a pretty damn good dude. He may be a little more sus than me, but he's a guy. He's a dude. He's a man. From what this is what I'm hearing. But he's got a pretty damn good sense of humor. Because you have no idea how hard a guy like that gets hated. Because it is naturally, like, It's in our DNA as men. We become competitive. We're competitive. It is what it is. It's hard to fight that thing in the back of your head that that dude's killing it and I'm not. Um, but you can fight that. That's what I think of. Most of the guys I think that we keep around here fight that, and it's called self confidence, like self respect, you know. And if you know you're the man, you don't have to have somebody in your comment section to tell you, that you're the man. And so he's in the closet. I've heard that before. I heard that he just continuously keeps having pretend kids too. That, yeah, yeah, I've heard all those rumors. They're crazy. I'm by Pensacola. Yeah, I need to go back down to Pensacola 850. I'll hit you up if I do. I need a vacation. I need to get away from everything. Go back and just lay on the beach for a week. Okay. Next channel. I can't even give Jacob. Let's say Alicia or. Oh my gosh, man. Alley Cat. My bad. See? My eyes are so young and so hip that they see perfect. Just looking to see if I could reach my glasses. Closer. I could maybe read it better. How we doing, Allie? Oh, Super Stay come in too. What up? Peter in the house? What? You gonna let him call you Peter? I work for Davey. Love catching your live talks. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. We appreciate having you around. Uh, I don't. Yeah, Jacob, just make chicken better, dude, and stop falling down. Stop falling down. Um, I do laugh every time. I do find joy when he does fall. This time he just ran like he was in the middle of nothing and tripped over the chainsaw again. So it's kind of a routine now. I think I may get mad if it gets cut and it's not in the video. So keep falling. I like that. I like when he falls. Yeah, and that chain is not it. I'm not down with this self-sharpening stuff. But next channel. So many rules at Davey. Yeah, there's a few. There's a few there. Yeah, yeah. There's different headaches with all of it. Well, yeah, there is. Um, the big corporations, you got more people over the top of you. Bigger operations and smaller ones. You know, a lot of times the person that is above you is having to handle so many things because a lot of times the smaller operations are understaffed and you got someone doing too much, so they're grumpy. And like, I just look at it as I'm blessed that my guy understands that I'm just kind of a dick sometimes and I don't mean it and I'm just grumpy. I'm like Grumpy that was here earlier. I could use that and be called that and it would be correct. So got Live Oak there, Missouri. Nah, I wouldn't know. Like I've seen them, yeah. there has been some, but I think they end up having some different kind of name over here. Like, there's so many different variations. Like, I've heard, like, stump oak and water oak, and, like, then you got red, white, black, live oaks. There's just so many shrub oaks. Just, it's weird. So, yeah, yeah, there's some rough wood. I tell you what is like a lot of times is rough is you'll get some of these ash trees that get the ash borer, and after certain ones, after they die and season, that wood is like granite. If you have to climb one, it's just your gaffs don't go in. Like, you can feel the shock in every step that you take, and you would think the tree would get softer, and when it dies and starts to season. No, that stuff turns into like a solid bone. They think more rules and stuff means more hazards and accidents. Yeah, yeah. There's a point, Ali, where you're overwhelming people, and I'm going to talk about someone doing that, and this we'll get to it here in just a second. But I'm going to have to. I'll try to keep up with you guys' comments, but I need to keep going here. I don't want to have like. Yeah, yeah, solid bone. That was kind of sus, wasn't it? Pause. No one said pause. We're supposed to be hip and shit, guys. Some kid would have said pause. No one even thought about doing it. Totally sus. Absolutely. The second you shown up, it got very sus. Like, that's the way you should come into all rooms. Sus is here. Like, I respect it, brother. You're the shit. That's funny. Alright, JLM Tree Service put out a video called Flush Cuts Equal Long-Term Decay. Mesquite trees got 4-inch thorns. Yeah, we got locusts. Look up honey locusts or black locusts. Yeah. So JLM put out the video, and it was called Flush Cuts Equal Long-Term Decay. And he instantly starts this video off by pointing out things like, oh, why do YouTube tree guys do this? The beginning of the video, they're like, we got these high voltage electric wires right here and here and here, and we got this tree. We're going to have to take down this tree. We got to be careful around these electric wires. And then they do the tree, and it becomes absolutely, completely, like, obvious that at no point was anything in danger of getting anywhere near them damn electric wires. But you stand in the right position and put yourself at the right angle, and you can maybe get a good thumbnail. Okay, right on. I just don't understand it, like, people always pointing shit out at the beginning of the job. If it doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing, like, maybe it's because they see other guys do it, so they're like, oh yeah, that's what this guy does, so I gotta point it out. So, I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, if you've never watched Cool Runnings, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up, it's bobsled time. Cool Runnings. You need to watch that. Okay? But yeah, don't point that shit out. And he's pointing out these flush cuts on this tree, pointing out that that's the reason that the tree started to decay. And I like the part where he's like, I'm a badass mother who don't take no shit from no one. That's I think that's my favorite part. Um I can stop talking. I don't want to talk about Cool Runnings no more. I can't even think afterwards because then I start thinking of the movie and I'm digging it in my head and I space out. Um, he's pointing out these flush cuts and said that's the reason the tree's got these. He calls them plugs. But what's happened is the tree it tried to compartmentalize and it closed itself off as best as it could, and the heartwood to the tree is shot. It's dead. I don't know if it's the flush cuts that did that. It could be something in the ground. The tree could have a hole up in it to where it's retaining water and it's turned it hollow. But you know, whatever. But he points these out. But he never says anything about why does that, like, you live in a small town. And I think this every time I watch a tree guy that lives in a small town who isn't, like, admitting, like, they're probably the only tree guy around there. So when you go back later on, you start pointing out shit that somebody did wrong, who's going to be the first guy to actually admit, like, I did flesh cuts back in the day, and like it killed the tree. Yeah, I know. I'm sure that you could tell all that from your fucking chair at home, Murph. You're right. Who did that though? Did he do it? Because I just would straight up respect the first dude that tells the truth instead of using something that they did and something they created. Because I feel like if you didn't do that, you're like, you point out the flush cuts and you say another tree guy didn't know how to trim right and he did flush cuts and he killed this tree. That's what I would have said. I would make it very clear that I'm not the one that put these improper cuts on here that killed this tree. Especially when you live in a small town, because a lot of your viewers are taking for granted that if there's tree work being done around there, it's probably you. So, but he says nothing, doesn't say anything about who did it, just blames it on those fletch cuts, heads up, and on his way up, he starts talking about climbing devices and how they discontinued the Rope Runner Pro and how they come up with this fruitier version called the Vertex, and how certain people love it because it's fruitier and they like. But he said his ground guy asked him about the zigzag, and he was talking about how when you use the SRT, you got to use the chicken. Why do Jesus Christ? I'm not going to sit there and talk about something without like having at least a little bit, like knowing how to pronounce it. That would help. Watch one. I've never in my life heard anybody call it a chican. It's called a chicane, and it's the most ass backwards, goofy looking thing that you can clip to a rope. I don't like it at all. I enjoy the GB tether with a wrench. Works great. So he says, he brings it up and says he don't like the chican, which I don't even know what the chican is, but I think he means the chicane. As he's going up, he starts to point out the limb that's going to be very, very hard. He says this limb over here is right, goes out over the primary electric wires. So if they're primary, Curtis, what's going on? If they're primaries, you can't touch those. Those are live wires. So I get being nervous, but he tells us that that limb down there goes out over those primary wires. He also says that he used to call them transmission lines, which is weird to me. That sounds like something goofy that Buck and Billy Ray would say. But I don't know where he got that from. He said somebody finally corrected him and let him know that transmission lines are on vehicles and power lines are on power poles and telephone poles. So he stopped doing that. But during this whole climb, he's pointing that limb out, and then he ends up going out there on that limb. And you guys tell me, I feel like I'm a very, very skilled tree climber. If it went out over the primary electric wires, would you be able to just free cut everything? Just would you be able to just free cut everything? It goes like you got the lines. It goes over it, right? You can't just free cut stuff then. You can't. That's not the way reality works. But if your tree doesn't go to the power lines, it just, if cut in the wrong spot, could touch a wire. That's a total different story. You can't repeatedly tell me in the video at the beginning how this limb goes over the primary wires. Because it didn't. It did not go over the primary wires. So I have been told the whole time that that part of the tree is going to be so scary, and I pay attention all the way to the end, and then he free cuts all the shit, which you could not do if it went over the primary wires, because it would hit the wires. So he handles that part out there, was able to free cut everything, and it landed 10 foot from being under the wires, which is okay, right on. But then he says the weirdest shit on his way back. His ground guy said, why wouldn't you have rigged that? And he says, rigging next to electric wires makes everything more dangerous. So, how would you handle a limb that went above an electric wires, it goes out and above the electric wires, how would you get that limb off there properly if it went over? Would you climb over the electric wire and out on the limb and take the chance of slipping off and then swinging into the primary wires? Or would you rig that limb? Because me personally, I don't think I would take the risk to climb out on this limb, and I'm tied in back over here, but I climb out on this limb and you got the electric wires, I'm way out here. If I slip, I swing into the electric wires and zap myself. I just feel like some people aren't living in reality. That makes no sense. He says it makes it more dangerous for the ground guy. I don't understand that either. But I think his whole thought about it is, what if the rope touches the wire? Because then the ground guy is touching the rope. I don't know what he's thinking, but maybe he uses an extension cord instead of a rigging rope. But to each their own. I don't really know what's going on there. But it's coated. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. With all of it. Even them real tall ones that, yeah, that have no coating. That's just a clear coating that you can't see. Get her done. Facts. Yeah, I can't with some of these people. And I do like that he offers a free service of aerating the yard. Every single chunk of wood he cut stabbed straight into the ground. You know how some guys try to make it flat? He's like, he should go with that and be like, stabbed it, and call it each time. Stab her. And he could just, and you know, other guys are like flat, and they land their logs flat. Get ahead of it. Be like, nailed it. I would dig that. I would think it's funny. But, yeah, he's stabbing a lot of holes. Next, August Hunnicky. The video is called, This Job Made Me Wish I Just Climbed It. And I'm like, okay. So, that follows the rules. That's a proper title. I can't even say nothing about it. But then the video starts, and he's using a child's toy that, for a chainsaw, that little Echo battery-powered saw. He's using a child's toy But he does have some advantages with it. It does have a 1/4 inch pico blade, which means it will cut a real nice narrow kerf and can pass through and work a little easier. It doesn't have to take so much of a cutout. So those 1/4 inch pico chains, if you can get them over onto a lot of saws, it allows it to pass through the cut quicker. It doesn't have to take as much stuff out. You almost gain a little bit, I feel like, a lot of times with them. But yeah, he's using 1/4 inch pico blade. I think a panther blade, and he admits when he gets up into his estrogen elevator. That, by the way, he uses an estrogen elevator, which some call bucket trucks. I've heard them called bucket babies. Other derogatory names, but I prefer estrogen elevator. I feel like it's the most proper and technically right. If you know what I mean. Um, but he uses it to go up and do these cuts on this liquid amber tree. If you're not sus, you just call that a sweet gum tree. This is what men call it. We call it the sweet gum tree. You don't call it the spiky ball tree. That's sus too. You avoid saying balls at all costs. If you don't have to, this is just a sweet gum tree. Okay? So, bucket boy, yeah, we could go with that. That works. Don't say man though. I don't want to piss half the tree guys off. I'm okay. I don't need no friends. All right, just know that I'm just here to speak the truth. Use the right blade, and you can get it done. All right, that's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that 850. That's weird. So he admits when he gets up in his very with his feminine chainsaw that runs on battery, the lady lift, and he gets up in it. He's talking about he had a dream, and he's like, in his dream he said that his favorite chainsaw was this Echo toy he was using, the battery powered chainsaw. And he's like, it was like a nightmare because that's not the truth. The truth is, and he says it, the best chainsaw all around, as far as top handle, is the 200T. There is no comparison. Pasquasca? Never even seen a sweet gum. Oh, brother, my dog, he's the Great Pyrenees. He's a big lug of a fucking animal. But I have one in my front yard, and we had such heavy storms that some of them blew into the backyard, and he's not used to ever seeing them. He must have ran, and he got one stuck in the middle of his paw, and when he opens his paw up, it's huge, and it got stuck right in between all of his pads, and it looked like part of his pad because he walked on it for so long, he had it mashed down. I thought he hurt his foot. He's big. He's like 100, he's probably 180 pounds, maybe more. And he runs around like he's a little dog. So I thought he hurt his foot. Turns out he had a sweet gum ball stuck in his foot. And at first I thought it was the pad of his foot. If you've ever seen a sweet gum ball get like ran through a chipper, or it's been smashed repeatedly or ran over, it just looks like a round ball of like wood or like fur almost. So he had ran on it for so long, it just looked like the other pads on his foot. And I pulled that thing out. Homeboy was so stoked and like turned into like a new dog out of nowhere when I got it out of his foot. And then right afterwards, he did it again. And then right after, he did it again. So yeah, sweet gum balls suck. I think the only thing I've ever heard that they're useful for is I've had people tell me that you can keep slugs from getting in your garden if you line the outside of your garden with sweet gum balls. It sticks to them or something. So you can keep slugs from getting in your garden if you line the edge of it with sweet gum balls. The problem with that is a seed pod. So every time it gets planted, you end up with another sweet gum tree, which I don't want. As soon as my buckeye tree and my dogwoods are big enough, that tree is gone. It's gone quick. I hate it. Um, because like this house used to have a big rotten maple tree in the front yard, and I took it down, and which then left the sweet gum tree that like had no growth on one side, heavy leaning the other way. I've had to like shape it, but so August, that's what he's working on in this video. Lady lift, toy saw. He tells a story about how Jeff, he sent Jeff to some lady had a sweet gum tree, and she said it had too many balls in it. Send someone without balls to get these balls off. So apparently he said he sent Jeff, and Jeff loved it. It was like his favorite job. And he's always like, every time they meet, they like get around each other. He's like, or if Jeff's working, Jeff's first, he's like, are we doing, do I get to do the balls today? And I would never ask a man that question, no matter what it's about. I don't like it. I think it's aggressive and weird, but yeah, he told the story though. And then he cried about how the Milwaukee saw is heavy, which that's crazy because it's meant for ladies. So I agree with Tree Fella. Trying to get canceled over here, 850. Trying to get canceled. That's all I got for August. Okay, here, this one, I didn't even know I was going to do this. Very shortly before I was going to come out here. See, I'm already at an hour 30. Jesus Christ. See, I rambled for too long. Yeah, I wish I could restart this. I don't like how I started out like Wrangle Star. I should have had a hanky on my neck, a pink hanky. It would have made everything make sense. So, Buck and Billy Ray puts out a video called So You Wanna Cut Trees? Do ya? Do ya? Is what he do ya. Actually, that title sucks. Because it's So You Wanna Cut Trees? Not a question mark, because that's question, sir. He didn't put he put a period. Okay. Do ya? Do ya? Or how would you say that like Canadian? Do ya? Eh? Do ya? Eh? I don't know. Something like that. But this is wrong. This is not good. Fix this. This is trash. The video starts, and you know how Buckin's always telling you how to live every part of your life, giving you a step-by-step of how to do things and be just like him. That's how Tasman has been able to basically duplicate his life, because Buckin spends all his, do ya? Yeah, spends all of his time telling you how he does every single little meticulous thing in his life and giving you his opinion about everything, pretending like it's the most important thing in the world, but it should be to him. His opinion should mean a lot to him. But so he always tells people, he'll tell you how to do everything and how he does it, but every once in a while you hear him say, go out and have your own experiences. And this is where me and Buck and Billy Ray, we click. Or we click. I agree. You don't need someone to teach you how to do everything. Characters built learning it, messing up, fixing it along the way. It went from getting some tips to something you don't know on the internet to everything everything I do in my life, I get off the internet. That's weirdo behavior. Please, God, don't do that, because you're just going to be a duplicate of some other weirdo, and when a problem arises, you don't know how to solve it because your favorite YouTuber hasn't made that how-to video yet. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in that situation. But he'll tell you to go out and have your own experiences. And ignore everything. If you take one thing out of this, and what we do here is I have a lot of respect for 99% of the people that are here. And that is because I feel like we've built a community of people that have that mindset. Like, they don't need to run to YouTube to get every bit of advice for their life. They're living their life and making their own decisions and like taking care of business, not trying to duplicate someone else's life, because that's never going to work right. I promise, it's never going to work. You may get close at times, but it's not going to work. You have to go out and try some things with the expectation that you could fail. But that's where you start to build real character. I don't care. You can play a character all you want on here, but I feel like what's gave me my self-respect that I have and my confidence is the fact that I'm so many mistakes ahead that I don't have to make them again. Like, I've developed the knowledge along the way, and I've made the mistakes so I understand things in a way that 99% of people aren't going to understand. They just know the tips that they've been told by another YouTuber. You can learn so much from YouTube. But there comes a point where you can learn something and implement, but don't come dependent on it. Like, you shouldn't let some random person like take all their advice, because I'm sure unless you're just a duplicate of that person, you're not an original normal human. You were made as a duplicate or a whatever the hell they clone of that person. You're going to have a difference of opinion at times, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to like be okay with that too. That's the other crazy part, to be okay with it. But in this video, Buckin blows my mind because he's always saying, go have your own experiences. You got to get out there and you've got to put boots to the ground and you've got to try things before you're really going to know. Yeah, you could take all this advice. Like you said, Bunsk, you learn to climb from YouTube. Have you climbed, though? Like, hey, you've climbed, right? Like, you've been in trees. You've probably, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I feel like I can answer for you. Yes, you've climbed trees before. You're not goofy enough to say, I know how to climb trees. I learned it from YouTube, but never have climbed a tree. That's crazy. Why would no one would do it. 2 years running my dude. See? And you want to know what happened? You took advice. You absorbed some knowledge, did some research, took some people's, tips and tricks and used it. You then had to go take that and you had to go do it. You had to go implement it. You can't, after watching all that stuff, you can't say, I learned how to climb trees from YouTube. No, YouTube helped you learn how to climb trees. You may have learned most of your stuff from you, but you did it. Like, some people helped you along the way. Things easier on you, which is something I think YouTube is awesome for. Helping people not repeat mistakes. So, but you have to go do this stuff. And that's what I 100% back with Buckin. At times, dude, that's what I'm talking about. And you have to have some confidence, and you got to put yourself out there to take that risk. And without you doing any of that, you could still have the same knowledge that you had from YouTube, but never learned how to climb trees. You could just be pretending sitting in your chair at home, taking in knowledge from some guy who's giving you, like, it takes, you got to get out there and do shit. And I hear Buckin say do it all the time. Have your own experiences. That's the only way to gain experience. You don't gain experience from YouTube videos. You gain knowledge, understanding. That's all you can get. Entertainment. You are never going to gain experience. Experience you get on site. You get from doing it. And if you're not doing it, you have no experience. That's the bottom line. So Buckin gets a phone call from a buddy of his, and the buddy is asking, hey, my son is starting to fall some trees on my property. What would you do in this scenario? Or he says, I got a big balsam tree that's starting to die out. I need to fall. It's kind of sketchy. What would you do in this scenario? Buckin says, who's cutting it? And the guy says, my son. My son's getting into tree work, and he's starting to fall some trees. And it was a 4-hour crane. Dude, that's awesome. He said he's getting into it, and I just was trying to get some advice for him. And Buckin says, well, you know, I don't charge people. It's like, right there. He has this great opportunity to go share his knowledge with this younger guy who needs the help. You're not just forcing it on somebody, you know, that doesn't want to hear it, like that new ground guy where you're trying to teach him so you can see that he don't give a damn. He's just like, yeah. He don't want to learn it. But you got a guy that's eager to learn, wants this info, and you have the experience to share with this young man. This is the stuff I love. Okay? And I'm like, this is going to be the shit. This is going to be a Buckin video that I get behind 100%. As long as he doesn't try to sell me something in the middle of it, this video is awesome. Then it does a full 180 and turns into complete Buckin mode. So he absolutely steals the experience from this kid. Shows up, does his normal. This kid could have got all this info from watching one of your videos. You gave him no time on the stump. You showed him stuff and talked to him about it. But you could have gave him that info over the phone. Like, I'm sure it helped the kid, but when you have to, like I said, I would love that opportunity. I would put the guy on the stump. I would let him try to have the experience right there. I would try to guide it until I felt like he is so nervous that he doesn't want to be a part of it, and it's too much for him. Then that's when you step in as the guy with the experience. You step in and you help out. You don't take the glory. Exactly, Peter. He stole his glory like a Monday morning quarterback. Comes in and is like, we won the game. But brother, you were third string. You threw nothing. Don't know what you're celebrating for, but like, it just, this kid sits there, Buckin does his thing, because he's being recorded, and he's on film, he has that main character syndrome. He can't step back, help, oversee, not be the main character for one time. You don't have to be the main character this one time. Do a back cut only video. For God's sake, no. I don't want my name attached to that shit. I said earlier, over 25 years of doing any and everything that there is with tree work. I've never used a back cut first. Ever. You want to know something else? I will never, ever use a back cut first. Ain't no time for face cuts. Like, okay, you know what? I do. If I'm doing that, I have felled trees with no face cut, just straight back cut. But this back cut first and then put a notch is weird shit that Buckin does. he talks shit on everyone else in the way that they do tree work. And then does stuff, some of the goofiest shit I've ever seen. So it drove me nuts when he couldn't step back for a second, not be a narcissist, be okay with, you're still the main character. You're just not the quarterback. You're the coach. You gotta be the quarterback always? You gotta have your hands on the ball? That's sus. Come on, man. He basically steals this kid's experience. That's lame as hell. He makes sure as he's talking to the kid too, because he's being recorded, he tries to dump too much onto this kid. So what do you like? Humboldt traditional. Yeah, don't sharp nipple, bore cut, back cut first, yeah, box cut, shark nipple, what the fuck is a shark nipple? This dude has said shark nipple like 15 times. I've watched so many videos where he brings up the shark nipple. I don't like that. It is called the shark gill because it's 3 little lines, which resembles gills and not a nipple, you kooky old fart. That's weird. And then he makes fun of the sizz wheel. Yeah, sizz wheel. Like, he's always talking about how everybody else's methods are all stupid. You don't need them. You don't need nobody else's. They're all stupid. I think there's nothing wrong. Okay, here's one thing. I've never seen Buck and Billy Ray do a shark gill. I've never seen Buck and Billy Ray do a sizz wheel. When you've not done something, stop bumping your gums about if it's good or not and if it's necessary or not. He's gotten, like I've said, I've not needed a bore cut. There are ways of doing face cut, back cut, whether you got ropes on it, guide wires on it, like just wedges on it, whatever it is, a stalpin jack. Like, there's ways of doing shit that you don't need to do certain cuts sometimes. That doesn't mean that they're not useful. Like, every chance he gets, and he does an outro in this video where he talks to the camera and says the word shark nipple again. I don't like that. I hate it. But I just feel like he shouldn't be able to say anything about any of those cuts because your old ass has never tried them, so you don't know if they're useful. Shut up. Shut up, old man. Like, if you think this or this, that's okay. But talking shit about what someone else does and saying it's not useful, if you've never done it, is weird. It's just weird. So, someone that's not blocked by Buck and Billy Ray, tell him it's not a shark nipple. Because I don't want to hear this shit no more. It's gross. It's predator behavior. I don't like the wording of it. It's disgusting. Stop. Yeah, he don't know shit. And this kid looked like, I just felt bad for the kid. He had an opportunity to do some cutting there, and Buckin, of course, can't not be main character. Look at me, I'm Buckin' Billy Ray. I'm about to do some kooky shit. The kid does ask the most important question during the whole demonstration that Buckin's doing. And he says, when do you know when to leave the stump? Smart kid. What he's doing there is he's assessing the most dangerous aspects of it, and he knows that you can't learn everything that first day. But there are certain things that'll keep him safe. His freezing nipple, yeah. That's like, yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. He's asking, when do you know when to leave the stump? And Buckin, you don't know what he does? This kid, asking questions, he's got you there. He says, well, Billy, when would you say is the right time to leave the stump? And this is after Bucking being like, I spend too much time on the stump. I spend too much time on the stump. I spend too much. This is the one thing I do wrong. And the kid says, well, when do you know when to leave the stump? And you want to know what Bucking does? Turns it into something about himself. Talks about himself for a second. Doesn't answer the kid's question at all. So I know the likeliness of this young man watching this is probably slim to none. But when do you leave the stump? It's gonna vary. Here's an answer for you. Different trees, different situations, different scenarios. But when that tree is committed and your depth you feel like is correct and it's on course, is when you leave the stump. Sometimes you'll try to steer a tree so you'll stay on the stump a little longer to kind of mess with that hinge wood. But when the tree is committed and on course, get your ass away from it and stay safe. Some people call the Swanson when you snipe the end of the cutoff. I like to call it the raging ramp because it makes a little like this, and because I feel like if we're all naming stuff, I want to name mine something too. I made a video and I named it something along. I don't remember though. It was something. So yeah, it's just crazy. The kid asked one question and the guy couldn't even answer it. He just made it into something about himself and gave the kid no good info. But then he was trying to overwhelming with a bunch of this and that and this and that and his kooky little mottos that he puts all on t-shirts and sells. He needed to tell this kid, always work on a pull and chain. Make sure you work on a pull and chain. That's super important, a pull and chain. No, like, just shut up. Just shut up. You can't tell the kid, always work on a pull and chain, and then commits to back barring on every cut when you're bucking the tree up. You're giving mixed signals to this kid. You're an absolute hypocrite because you're trying to get one of your gimmicks over. Maybe your t-shirt sales will go up, right? You got to get that gimmick over. Shit's weird. It's fruity too. He does his little outro and he says that on his channel they don't do how-to videos. But let me correct you, sir. Every video of yours is a how-to video because you're giving step-by-step ways to do something in every single video. You can't help yourself. You think people want to know every single thing that you do in your life. So you make sure to tell every single step and procedure and give your opinion and this and that. Just because it doesn't have the words how to in the title doesn't mean you don't have a zillion how-to videos. This fucking absolute moron says, we may have one or two how-to videos in the 15 years that I've been making videos. I can't with this guy. And I'm sure like he's probably got it in like landscape where he's looking at himself and he's just like, I love looking at myself. I can lie so good. I can't with him. I would like to say Buckenstock is June 26th, 27th, and 28th. Get your tickets. I will be there. Only because he blocked me, and now I have to go there to make fun of him. Because he won't hear it here, and I don't like that. So. Found out something crazy. You know, we were talking about the black web and some scary shit to go. The dark web. I made it racist. That was crazy. Why would I do that? The dark web. Okay. So listen to this that I found out. I seen an Ancestry.com paper, and Sizemore is Beano's daughter. Tell me that don't blow your mind. So, Sizemore is Beano's daughter. Is that not crazy? That's crazy. But yeah, Sizemore put out another video cosplaying as a tree climber or something. I don't know. But I found that out. I just thought it was wild. I didn't even know. But that's cool. That's pretty cool. You see it? Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy though. She grows a hell of a goatee. I would like to say that, and I absolutely respect it. Next channel is all trees and all seasons. So this guy put out a video, and I have a lot of thoughts about this guy. His video was called "My Most Frustrating Day of Tree Work." I feel like nerdy people say the word frustrated. I was so frustrated. I was just frustrated. No, I was pissed. I was mad. I was ticked. Like, I don't know. It was his most frustrating day of tree work. It doesn't break the rules, so I can't say anything. So, in this video, he ends up doing some removals. He talks about how he likes pruning more than he likes doing removals. And you're a weirdo for that. I don't like that you said that. That has never been said by a tree guy before, but hey, to each their own. So I think he's had this video for months and didn't want to upload it because it's from back in December. And he's uploaded multiple times since. So I think he had intentions of maybe not uploading this video, but he decided to go ahead and upload it or something. I don't really know, but it's completely out of sync with all of his other videos. That is crazy, isn't it, John? I seen the Ancestry.com papers though, so it's really cool. It's really cool. So the video starts. This guy's a good tree climber. Like he's very good. But I mean, you're not the best. You're just good. Like you think you're the best. It's the big fish small pond thing. He's in his little small pond where he lives. He's the man. People are amazed with what he does. He's got skill. You ain't the shit. Like, you ain't that good. Don't walk around. You're no better than, like, there's being skilled at your job and then walking around like an arrogant asshole. And that's the vibe he gets me. I can't shake it. He conducts himself like an arrogant asshole when he's on a tree job site. And that's just the way it comes off to me as the viewer. I may be wrong. But he seems to always, like, as the video starts, he'll have the setup, he'll have everything, he'll make the cut, and then when the piece comes off and does the crazy slam, he always cuts the stuff out. And it's very obvious that, like, why did you cut that little clip out? Was there something dangerous that happened? And you'll see it repeatedly throughout his videos where he'll cut little things out for no reason. Just show it. Like, are you that incredibly insecure that you can't show a mistake? You want us all to believe that you never make a mistake and that your camera just glitches at the most opportune time to make you look like you're the man? It's not what's happening. He seems very aggressive with other people. But he gets to one point, and he's up in the tree, and he even slips and falls, and he cuts that part out too. You see him slip, and almost, like, you could have used that as an opportunity to show people, a lot of times climbers are going to get in that position where they've slipped, they've gaffed out. How do you get back? But you're too insecure. You can't show that. That didn't happen. You edited it out. It just comes off as weird to me. But he says at the end of the video that the guy running the ropes is just a complete douche, apparently. That this guy's a complete asshole. And mistakes make good content, yeah. And it's real. It's real. That's the most important thing to me. It's real. Like, it tells me that you're incredibly insecure when you do shit like that. When it's obvious that you've made a mistake, but you can't put it in the video? Because, what? Someone to know you're a normal human? I don't know. So, the end of the video comes, we'll revert back. He's getting close to being done in this. He's got like multiple trees. He's good at rigging. He's got some skills. He's got a few techniques that he uses that I think are awesome too, with span, and he's good. He doesn't need to carry himself like this. It's not going to get you anywhere. Let me just tell you that. I carried myself like that at one point, and it got me nowhere. It just made me look like a douchebag. So he's the one that went to go set up a spider leg out on this branch and didn't tie it right and had to adjust. That's the reason I did the spider leg live feed yesterday, was mainly because of his video. And I had gotten a couple questions about it in the past. So I thought, here's a good opportunity. But he just completely screws the pooch when it comes to doing the basics and the stuff that he should have a better grasp on, because he has a very good grasp of things that are far more advanced. But, that involves the GRCS and all this other, but he ends up setting this limb up for the spider leg. He rakes the hell out of the roof of the house and the fascia and the siding. Weird. I don't know why he didn't say nothing about it, but it almost looked like a rigging point may have not went right, or I don't know. He clipped it out afterwards. And then out of nowhere, it goes to him being in the truck on his way home. And with no context, he tells us that he flipped out on the rope guy. And I'm like, what? Why did he flip out on the rope guy? He says, during the whole day, the guy that was running his ropes was a complete asshole and kept messing up all day long. He said he just kept doing it. Well, hang on. Here's my issue with that. You recorded everything. You edited everything. Why was there no footage of this guy making these mistakes? And this has happened before in another video where he said he blew up on a guy who kept messing up. There's at no point in this video, and it was a long video that I had to watch a lot of shit that I felt like was goofy, but you could have showed me this kid messing up at least once. At least once. To justify the fact that you blew up on him, started screaming at him and getting ignorant. Because he tugged on a rope that was attached to his leg or something, is what he said. So, I just feel like that's not what happened. I just feel like you're a titty baby. You get mad. You got Napoleon complex or something. And you just a very angry little turd of a thing. Like, you didn't justify any reason why you should be hollering at this kid. You just said you did it because he kept messing up. Here's the way, this is my opinion. If you think, as a contract climber, as what's up, backyard? As a contract climber, if you're going to go to other companies and go work for them, you have a couple things. And this is a guy in all trees and all seasons. He's a guy that's been doing contract climbing for a while now. Let's not pretend like you don't understand what you're getting yourself into. Okay? As a contract climber, you're showing up and you're becoming part of a team that's already established usually, and having a guy run your ropes if you need to run ropes that you've never worked with. A guy that's not used to you. You're the outsider. And you don't know what you do when you show up to so many of those jobs and you get this guy that doesn't know anything on the ropes and he pisses you off and he scares you and you feel like he almost gets you hurt and you're just angry all. You know what you do? You don't throw a hissy fit and holler at a guy. You bring your own damn guy. If it's that important to you to have your ropes ran a certain way, I am that way. I am a complete asshole. So you know what? I bring a guy. You need to figure it in and say, I'm not going to places and I'm not working with people that don't know how I work. I have a guy that I'll bring that will run my ropes. If you're a secondary guy, you use maybe the one, at the job site. Or you understand that this guy doesn't know how you do things. And that is going to be on you that day to give him very meticulous, precise instructions to do things the way that you want. It falls on you, man. Stop passing the buck. When everything's cool and you get to swing a bunch of branches and look like the man, you're the guy. It's all about you. But when there's a mistake made, it's always everybody else. It's always that guy's fault. You're leading that guy. It's on you. Yeah, with the right guidance and the right advice and communication skills, you can have someone, like John said, homeowner run ropes. And it can get done. I refuse to believe that this kid that's ran ropes before was such a piece of shit all day long that he deserved to have this fruitcake get down out of the tree and start screaming at him. I'd have punched you in your mouth and I'd have wadded you up in a ball. You have poor communication skills. And it's always everybody else's fault. No. You're supposed to communicate to the guy who doesn't have the experience. If you need it a certain way, tell him that. That's your job. Stop passing it off and saying it's this kid's fault that he made some mistakes because he don't know how you work. It's not your team. You're subbing into a team. Okay? They didn't come help you on your job. You came and helped them on their job. I don't even know his name. All Trees and All Seasons. I think he doesn't seem like my type of guy. I don't think I could work with him. I'd strangle him before the day was over with. All Trees and All Seasons. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Alright, next one. I got two more. Veterans Tree Service put out a video. I don't trust this guy. I don't like this guy. He's weird. Somehow he got some subscribers. I don't know how, but don't let him walk up behind you. I'll tell you that much. He put out a video. It's called "If This Looks Dangerous, It's Because I Don't Know What I'm Doing." Oh, hang no. That's what he should have put. My bad. The title is "If This Looks Dangerous, comma, that's because it is." And it is because he doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, he's just doing some little baby trees. I don't like how the video starts, and instantly Tim is helping Jake tuck his sack, like right at the very beginning. If some dude asked me to do that for him, I'd have told him, brother, no. Like, do it yourself. I don't want part of that. And I would have just climbed up my tree, but Tim, being Tim, will take the opportunity to put his hands on another man's stack every chance he gets. And so he was actually happy to do this for Jake, because Jake's in one tree already, and Tim's about to come up this one. So that happens, and that's sus. I don't like that, but that was how the video started. So then you got little Snatch over here in this tree, and you got Big Puss over here in this tree, and they're both struggling. They're struggling to remove these little telephone pole trees in a wide open space, which is crazy. Turns out little Snatch is a better climber than Big Puss, Tim, aka Tim. Tim uses a rainbow anchor, which is absolutely illegal. Illegal and zesty at the same time. I don't like that. But he uses a rainbow anchor, and Little Snatch has some common sense and a little bit of brains to him, and he's anchored in correctly. Why is that? Common sense. That's some brains. That's why I think. The problem is you got BP over here teaching him, but not leading by example. I don't know what he's doing though. He does his own thing. The other crazy part is that the video before this, Tim absolutely destroyed this entire parking lot with a tree. You got to see it to believe it. Destroyed this parking lot. Falls this big old massive tree. This was a beautiful parking lot too. It's so rude and lazy, if you want the truth. Destroys the whole parking lot. I couldn't believe it. He did it though. He did it. You gotta go click it, watch it to see. But just they'll go watch it. Trust me, they'll go watch it. But that's all I got for him. He probably did some other shady shit that I didn't catch, but yeah, I don't know. No. That you do get your ass locked up for false information, and what's that other thing? Like defamation. That's defamation, sir. Don't do that to me, Lyft. That's not funny. That's not funny. I would never do that. Next channel, last channel, Your Outdoor Oasis puts out a video called When a Simple Top Goes Wrong, ... That is at Your Outdoor Oasis. So, video starts. He points out these two trees. Calls them pine trees. They're not. They're spruce trees. Okay, so we started the video out. Pine trees. No. Spruce trees. Okay. Then he points to the power lines and says that they're not going to hinder anything. But he points them out, gives you the angle like it looks like they're kind of in the wires, but then admits that, they're not going to be an issue though. Why the fuck are we pointing this out then? We should have spent more time on our tree ID. And then we wouldn't have, I left a comment. I'm trying to be a nice guy these days. I said, I don't think those are pine trees. They might be spruce trees. He says, oh, damn it. You might be right. No, sir. I am right. I wouldn't have spoke up if I wasn't. That's not what I do. I am correct. Wrong about the trees. Showed me some power lines. because I guess he thought I liked power lines. I don't know. They weren't going to equate to anything for this. Then says that this is an emergency job that's not really an emergency. So we have the greatest start of any video I've ever seen. Wrong about the trees, pointing out stuff that doesn't matter, and then it's emergency, it's not emergency. Like, I'm so fucking confused before he ever gets up a tree. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on right now. But he goes up the tree, does his thing. He's climbing, and decides to point out how he is using a rainbow anchor, and shouts out the one who birthed the rainbow anchor, basically. Actually, probably got a C-section because he didn't want to mess up his figure. Tim. He points Tim out. He probably reared it from his rear, actually, the more I think about it. He says, I'm using a rainbow anchor, just like he says, call me Tim from Veterans Tree Service. And I will. You can mentor this young man. First, you need to let him know that those are spruce trees. Don't point out the wires if the wires don't matter. And emergency means emergency, not emergency, okay? You talking about me? Yeah. Yeah, so he points Tim out and says that he's climbing this goofy way because this is what Tim does, and he wants everybody to call him. I seen him. You sent him a 13-point breakdown of his mistake. I could see that. I could see. I'm surprised you only had 13 points, Murph, if I'm being honest. Oh, John, you out of here? Night, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. So, here's something I would like to point out. And we all have fun. We all poke fun. This, that. But I can proudly say that in 12 years of making nothing but tree videos, in 12 years, I've purposely and proudly never promoted anything that is unnecessarily dangerous. That I have a really bad conscience when it comes to that, and I would feel so guilty if some half-assed technique that, and this is, let me be very clear first. This is not, Tim did not come up with this. I may poke fun. Tim did not come up with the rainbow anchor. That goofy shit, I think, came from August Hunneke. He's the fucking numbskull that decided to start using this technique and telling other people to use it, and that I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't. I think maybe with his trees that the risk of him choosing a branch that would break is maybe less. Maybe he's the type of guy that would never do that without a lanyard on. But I'm telling you, when these techniques become very popular and everyone starts using them, there will be that idiot that decides to do it and use it for a second without being lanyarded in, and his limb breaks and he falls, and I don't want that shit on me. I don't want to feel any guilt because anyone got hurt along the way from anything I promoted or any, like, have I done the goofy shit? Yes. I've done all the stupid stuff. I've used half-assed sketchy techniques. I purposely don't point that stuff out though. It's not, I don't need it. I don't need to point that out. If it's gonna get me a couple extra views for me to be like, I was an absolute fucking numbskull right here. Let me show you how I did this and took a bunch. Like, I just never found the need to point any of that stuff out. I feel usually when I'm doing that kind of stuff, I have some shame. Like, I can't think of a better way to do this but except for the sketchy way. Like, I'm about to do shit that no one should do right now because I didn't spend enough time learning enough ways to do it that's safer. That happens to me and has happened to me many times over the years. But to each their own. I can just honestly say that I've spent a long time purposely making sure that I would love to leave a lasting footprint when I'm done making videos. But I mean, if I can't, like, I don't want to leave anything negative. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You got guys now that are putting it on you, like because you use the technique. Um, they're now labeling it like I do this because this guy does it, and that sucks. That sucks. You know. I'm not saying for your type of trees that it may be safe. It may be totally fine. But Tim's trees and someone else's trees are not the same. Like, and I hope that the emulating what you see along the way doesn't get somebody hurt. But I do want to make it clear, Tim may use that technique, but Tim did not come up with that technique. He's using it because he's seen it being used. And I do like that the guy who's next to Tim, who Tim is teaching, he's not using that technique. He's doing it the safe way. So, which makes me respect, hopefully, Tim or him, you know, Jake, whoever made the decision that, hey, Jake, you're a much bigger dude, you weigh more, probably not the best idea for you to be doing a lot of the rainbow anchor. Let's just go around the stem of the tree. It may take a couple more seconds to handle, to set up, but for God's sake, if you guys are that crunched for time, that those few minutes is going to make or break you, I just feel like things need to slow down a little bit. That's the mode that I was in when I had a mistake. So it's like a career-altering mistake. So I don't know. I hate being serious like that, but like I just don't want to see anybody ever get hurt. I'm being dead, just absolutely 100% honest. I feel like my reasoning for giving it away and like sharing a lot of times is those people that are like, dude, you helped me, you saved me, you kept me from getting hurt. And that is awesome. That is awesome. So you're a fucking kook, Murph. Get him though. I love it. Everything, Murph. I second everything that he just typed. I don't know how his fucking thumbs work that fast. You got some super thumbs. That's crazy. But yeah, you need to respect his authority, Tim, and just do what he says. All right? You know how shit works on the tube. If Murph tells you to do something, you do it. No questions asked. Ha! It's a lot of shit to read, isn't it? I mean, if you don't know nothing, that's okay. Murph will teach you. Okay? You may think to yourself, how did this man get all this insider info when he's not there? Well, that in itself is what makes the Murph dog the Murph dog. Sigh. It's a Pusk. It's a blade. It's a. I know you probably just misspelled blade. You said bar. It's actually a blade, but you're 100% right. 100% right. Jesus Christ, Murph. What are you doing? Did you have all this shit, like, copied and pasted and stuff? He was ready. There's no way you typed all this. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, man. That's what makes the Murph, man. Oh, fuck. Makes me tear up. I'm so proud of you guys. Fucking don't stop, Murph. Keep typing. When are you gonna put your book out, brother? Because I would like to use one to start a fire with. Son of a bitch, I can't. Alright, I'm fucking done. This is the lamest stream I've ever been on. For God's sake, YouTube, let me come back. Everyone's kicking me out of everything. I don't like this. It's pissing me off. First, Sizemore kicks me out. And next thing you know, his dad's gonna not let me. Beano's not gonna let me watch his shit. Bucking, like, blocked me. There's a bunch of sensitive Sallys out here, and I'm sick of it, alright? No one knows, son of a birch. No one knows. That the Murph was talking. We were all just here. I don't even know. I don't know, son of a birch. I don't know. The SOB, you son of a bitch. Yeah, that's funny. You can't abbreviate his. It's like, how do you read that? Yeah, I don't know. I would just like to say that all the stuff in this video is my opinion. For God's sake, like, I don't want Wrangle Star's cult coming after me, all because of his audio is, how do you say it? Auto asphyxiation fetish, or the toupee thing. So Bucking can suck it. Sizemore's a lady. Everybody else just, they maybe don't suck, but they're not as cool as me. I just like to say that. West Coast man gonna get ya. Yeah, no. Just normal stuff. Just normal stuff, yeah. Just normal stuff. He's just timming it. Like the Murph's it. Yeah, son of a birch. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, let me, before we end this, screw bottom boots, baby. Get your bottom screwed by me and buy one. Alright? I want all the monies. So, sure, Mike, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, OF is in the description. Click it all. Give me the monies. Okay, I need the monies. Clip it, Tim. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think about that shit. I'm proud of the boot. Just know that. And I hope some of you will actually, I don't care. Just send me the monies. Okay? Alright, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm done. Cards not cute with the... Yeah. Yeah. Well. Darts? Oh. What are you trying to say? Is that like a butt dart joke? I don't like that. You trying to call me zesty? Alright, well, I think $50 is gone. And if everyone knows $50 is out of here, I'm out of here. Okay? I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll catch you next time. Appreciate all you guys, though. Thanks for giving me your time. Stay safe. And, Have a safe work week.